impossible for anybody to tell you how to surrender, not on the deepest level. It's impossible. There's so many factors that are contingent upon how this, you can say, surrender takes place inside each individual form. I mean, depends on your karma. This is a real big deal. What your situation is. Somebody surrendering who has, you can say, a chronic pain or chronic neurological disorder that's just affecting them all the time, versus somebody who surrenders their addiction to alcohol. It's a whole different deal, man. Or somebody surrendering that their boyfriend or girlfriend doesn't understand them. There's different levels. Surrender. Somebody who has something that's eating at them all the time and causing pain, that's going to require a deeper surrender than somebody who just like, oh, this person like called me stupid and now I feel bad and I need to surrender that. Yeah, it's a whole different level. So how can somebody tell you how to surrender? It's an individual personal thing. Depends on your constitution, your mental wiring, the way you process emotions, your ganas. Ganas, that's a Sanskrit word. Rajas, tamasic, rajas, sattvic. Sattvic's equilibrium. Rajas is like dynamic energy. Tamas is like inertia, dullness. Sattvic is the equilibrium of those two. Everybody, there's a different play of that energy inside everybody. Some are more rajistic. Some are more just kind of dull and tamasic. I'm spiritual. See how relaxed I am? Some are more sattvic, just kind of cool. They get the energy, but they can also say, okay, I'm cool. And then the doshas, Ayurveda, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Do you have more air and ether? If you have more air and ether, you're going to be a little, you're going to be a little active. You have more Pitta, that's more fire. Those beings, like, they don't mess around. Like, they don't like stupidity. See, and they'll tell people, "Why are you being stupid? Don't be stupid." They don't like it. Fire. If they see something wrong or something, we need them. God, we need, like, those are the people. Like, this country would be taken over by now if we didn't have the Pitta people. But then you have your passive Kapha people. Too much inertia, too much, they're just kind of all lazy. Imagine they're spiritual. Those are your passive aggressive people. Something goes down, oh, God will take care of it. Yeah, God working through the Pitta people will take care of it. So you have that play of the different ganas, the different doshas. You have all that playing out. That's gonna factor in like what your surrender process looks for you. That's why don't watch videos or read books and think that they're encapsulating the total truth when they talk about surrender. They're just sharing what they do. That's how they surrender. How you can have a total different archetype also, different archetypes. So our teachers and guides and gurus, are they even like, do they even do anything? If they can't really help me on the deepest levels, like surrender, because when we surrender, then we get access to our true source power, and then you get wisdom, you have unconditional love, you have compassion, you get all the qualities that like you feel good, like that make you feel good. But you still can make mistakes, and you can still get into it on a human level. This is the thing. It's like, why don't anybody ever talk about that? Teachers don't want to talk about that. I was talking to a customer service rep. I've been talking to these people for 2 weeks, and they made a ticket, the problem, right? They document it. So then I call back. I'm going to do this again when I go home, actually. I'm going to test the experiment. When they fill a ticket out, they're supposed to write what the problem is. So why is it then every time I call back, they ask me the same questions and I got to explain the same thing over and over again? And so I ask them that. And then they have that robotic response. Oh, I'm very sorry. It's like, how do I, God, what do I do? Like, you made these creatures and you made me, and we're like trying to deal with like what's happening here. Okay, so yeah, they can activate the pitta, the fire in me, and they need it. Sometimes they need it. If everybody was just all like, nobody calls nobody out for their mistakes and just act passive aggressive about it, there wouldn't be any transformation or change. So God manifests different through everybody. Because if there were only fiery pitta people, then we'd just end up probably killing each other. So see, God makes everything balanced, So how to surrender? That's why all we can do is share our own experience. How can teachers and gurus help? Somehow you end up finding those beings who kind of belong to your archetype. That's why there can't be ever one religion, one dogma, one teaching for everybody. It's impossible. You just come to realize that. It's just nonsense. Because there's different archetypes out there. There's different wirings. You have to find your people. And the law of magnetism, the law of attraction, will allow you to find your people. So then you listen to your people, and this is why I say my suggestion to a lot of those watching videos, like, man, don't watch. I mean, listen, if you enjoy it, okay. But a lot of people get confused. You watch this person and you say, wait, they contradict. No, you find your people, you listen to them, and that's it. You don't need to keep busying yourself listening to everything. Go sit quiet instead. Utilize your time like that. Listen to your people, reflect on what they said, because your people should be people you believe in and trust. If people are listening, I had a girlfriend once. She said, it's funny how it's like we do one little thing wrong, or medium thing, or big thing. Even okay, let's say we do a big thing wrong, medium big. It wipes out and cancels out all the good things you did. You see? So that happened once. This is a human trait, by the way. It gets activated more if you're in an intimate relationship, because then we have more expectations. We like hold them to higher standards, all that. Worse is to be put on a pedestal. Yeah. I don't think I have that problem. God's kind of made me unconventional and unrefined. And I even accentuate on that, right? Because I just like to be nobody or like everybody else, or whatever way you want to say it. So she just stopped. She like didn't believe me. Okay, look, we did some medicine that night, San Pedro. And then in the morning, there were other people in the ceremony. There were some girls. They walked out to the river. I want to know if they're naked. You see, this is what I was wanting to know that. So then there was a dog barking too. So me and my girlfriend were sitting there. I said, look, I'll be back in a minute. So I go out. I look. I want to see, I'm like, oh, they're naked. All right, cool. So then I walk back. She said, why'd you get up? I said, no, a dog was barking. I just wonder where he was barking at. She said, no, you got up to go see if they're naked. I said, well, I was a little curious. I just wonder if they're naked. And then that wasn't good. Well, wasn't good for the situation. But on some level, it was good, too, because you find out, like, who you're with. See? So she, after that, reviewed, like, the whole time we were together and turned everything into, like, some kind of negative thing. You only did that because you were actually doing that. There was an ulterior motive. It really wasn't pure. And I said, holy man, like what? I said, listen, because I'd already went through this when I was 20, the whole walking on eggshells, and I learned that really good. I'll just never do that again. somebody tries to play the whole guilt and shame thing on me. No. So I told her, I said, man, you need to go find somebody you can trust. I'm not going to play this character for you, you know. Not going to put me in the witness box and I got to prove myself. If that's how you perceive me, okay. So how did that tie in, though, to, I don't know. See, I did this on a previous video. I set out with the intention to talk on a certain topic, and I did the same thing this time, talking about, I wanted to talk about surrender. Like there's no one way to surrender. But I ended up talking, I don't know if I did justice to that title. So I gotta review this video and see what title I'm gonna put. But I have fun when I flow like this, because I just do, you know. So if I have fun, then somebody else is having fun, and that's the point of the videos. You find your people, you listen to them because they speak to you. I guess that's why I shared it. You see, I always figure out when I say, what was I talking about? Like the answer comes when I stop, when I forget about it, then it comes. See, forget about awakening, you're gonna awake. Careful though. It's like, how do you talk? Everything's paradoxical. It's like the language of opposites, you know? And then the mind takes that and makes a mess out of it. So you find your people that you trust, and then you listen to them, and then you don't watch a bunch of other things. Instead, take your time and sit quiet and reflect on what you've heard. This is a much better use of your time, because too many people just want to fill their head up with a bunch of non-dual information and then imagine they know something. You have to assimilate it. Like, yeah, there's a stage for gathering information, it's fine, but then digest, assimilate, and then let it be crystallized inside you. I went through a period when I was in my 20s, I read like all day and night. That's all I did was read. And then that stage ended, and I haven't like looked at a book since. Organically, I'm just done. I like it. The time stage came for application in the assimilation of everything that I studied for a while. So I understand if someone's in that stage and you're still in the process of gathering, that's cool. But some of you aren't, but because of the habit to keep gathering, you're going with that. And I'm saying to those people, like, you don't have to do that. Just stop for a little bit and just assimilate and reflect on what you read. Otherwise, you're gonna get like spiritual indigestion or something. All right, I made another channel, Beyond the Alchemy. It's for those guys that do want to know about semen retention. It's a huge, important spiritual principle. If you want consultations, anybody, you can see my email. It's on the banner. And that's it. That's what we do here. See you.